How is it going with the refugees?
I'm not a monster. I got nothing against sheltering a few brave souls. Most of my lads are blokes who are here to protect their families. But enough is enough. I just can't protect everybody. You can't squeeze a whole city into a fucking life raft.
How well do you know Randall?
Wow, not enough to trust him with his airs and all. The night with this and the night with that. Having said that, he has saved us from a few accidents in the village. He's a damn good fighter, and he don't ask questions. Balls of steel, that one. Sometimes I think he must have a death wish or something. If that's so, he ain't taking the easy way out. But then, who gives a toss? When he turned up a few weeks ago, it certainly took some of the pressure off. But he acts like his shit don't stink. Obviously, me and the lads aren't good enough for the likes of him.
A lot of the villagers have been complaining about a wild beast in the area. Do you know anything?
Who knows if it's just one animal? The swamp's always been a bit dangerous. But since you want to know, one of my lads on the West Gate swears up and down he saw something. And a patrol found another one tore up pretty bad. He's still in the healing house. Considering the bunch of cowards we got hiding in the village, if I was you, I wouldn't pay much mind to what they says. Or at least, don't go wasting your time until you got real proof.
I'm going.
So, you have returned. What is your desire?
Show me what you have for sale.
So, you have returned. What is your desire?
I need more info about Valvanor.
And you have decided that I have a sympathetic face. It's the story of my life. Talent worthy of a king's ransom, but surrounded by cretins who only seek that which is free.
What can you tell me about the steward?
Oh, don't expect me to say anything bad about Bertolf Chambriard. I'm not always in agreement with him, but I can see that he knows his business. And he keeps the village relatively safe.
It's not often you see an elf blending in with other cultures. Are there many of you here in Valvanor?
To my knowledge, I was the only one. That is, until Prince Arundel and his acolyte arrived. Does that pose a problem for you?
Not at all.
Well, it does for me. His Majesty the Prince of Imbeciles is going to bring us nothing but trouble.
Do you know the woman who runs the healing house?
Oh, of course. She's all one hears about lately. Everyone here will tell you that she's a courageous woman, fighting a noble battle. Everyone but me. The woman's insane. There are already far too many mouths to feed in this camp. Clearly, she's fully aware of this, yet she stubbornly insists on making things worse.
And the Red Scribes? Know anything about them?
Oh, certainly. A boring bunch of fusspots, spreading science and preaching the good word while never suspecting that anyone might see through their little game.
Our game? Well, pray tell, give us the details. Please, give us the benefit of your extensive knowledge.
I don't pretend to know about all their little plots. I spend very little time with them, and frankly, I couldn't possibly care less about them. But I am fully aware that pretty speeches serve no better purpose than manipulating minds. They're nothing more than noisy masks behind which hides a reality that is far uglier. The more the melody is sweet, the better it distracts you. And is there anything more disgustingly melodious than the discourse of a red scribe?
When it comes to disgusting discourse, you seem to be something of an expert.
What can you tell me about the steward?
Oh, don't expect me to say anything bad about Bertolf Chambriard. I'm not always in agreement with him, but I can see that he knows his business. And he keeps the village relatively safe.
Let's talk about something else. Get that forge cooking. You've got work to do. I don't want to see so much as a dent in the guard's armor. And we need some weapons with edges that will actually cut something.
I don't even have enough materials to forge a single sword worthy of the name. Sorry, but if what you want were possible, it would have been done long ago. What's more, I'm not really a blacksmith. If you want an assembly line of weapons, I wouldn't count too much on me.
You have a forge, you know how to work metal. You're a blacksmith, our blacksmith, the one I'll hold responsible if our guards are poorly equipped. So unless you want me to shove one of your disgustingly artistic creations right up your ass, you better roll up your sleeves and outdo yourself.
But I assure you, I never said that I didn't want to render you service. I could wish for nothing better than to tackle a worthy task for such as you. But I must have raw materials. Even I can do nothing without them.
I must say I'm beginning to appreciate your methods. Not in every case, nor with every person, but they do seem effective.
So what is it you need?
Everything you can possibly bring me. Metal, leather, coal, preferably in large quantities. A dozen or so pieces of each would make a start, I suppose.
I'll take a look around and see what I can find. You got any of that famous elven bread that can feed a family for 6 months?
Are you insane? Do I look like a baker? It's always the same, isn't it? Just because you have pointy ears, everyone assumes you schlep around with an enormous bag stuffed full of your land's most famous culinary delights? I'm afraid I don't. And let me fill you in on a closely guarded secret among the elven people. Our bread is disgusting. Better that you eat sand, which would stay down easier, as well as tasting better.
I'll get you something to work with.
Lovely. You've brought me a bit of everything, and that's a start. When you've brought me twice as much, then I can begin.
Are you kidding me? Twice as much? Why didn't you tell me that before?
You must be hard of hearing. Perhaps you should get yourself a horn for your ear. I specifically told you that this was just to start with. You've given me enough to begin planning, but nowhere near enough to equip the entire guard. I must have more raw materials.
All right, I'll get them. And if I find a horn, I'll save it for you. But I wouldn't count on me putting it in your ear. Let's talk about something else. The steward said there was a beast attacking the villagers.
This is what one hears, yes. Something is wandering through the swamps, devouring the reckless. The saddest part is that it's often the guards who end up lost, along with their equipment. Meanwhile, we are overrun with refugees who serve no useful purpose at all.
I'll be back.
That's an excellent idea.
Mr. Vulcan, what brings you here?
We'll talk again later.
Busy, mercenary. Go do what you're getting paid for.
Sybil, can I talk to you?
Yes?
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
What do you want to know?
Do you know what happened to me in the temple?
I'm still searching for an explanation. Something must have gone wrong during the ritual.
And what was the god's damn ritual supposed to do?
The Red Scribes have always had quite limited magical skills. I believe that the ritual was meant to increase their magical powers to try and find a way of combating the Ice Lords. But instead of channeling pure energy into each of the scribes, the ritual called forth a conscience that settled in you.
Your father called it a demon. How come I got stuck with it?
A demon? That reminds me of the old text, but I couldn't say if that's what it is. You were standing right there, so that force flowed into you. It could have been my father, or any of us, I guess.
Well, that's just great. What do I do now?
I would dearly like to help you. But even though I have searched through all the texts I have here, I can find no reference to anything like this experience of yours, at least for now. But until we have found out more, you must try to fight against this thing. Do not allow it to get comfortable. We don't know what its intentions are or how powerful it is. It could be dangerous for you.
So then, any result from the study of all these creatures of the swamps?
Well, I'd really like to meet some of these creatures who live here. But for now,